In a reversal of previous statements, the Israeli military has now finally admitted that a Telegram channel called 72 Virgins Uncensored, which shares all sorts of footage of soldiers torturing Palestinians, is in fact operated by members of the IDF. They had previously denied this, now they have confirmed it. The admission comes after Haaretz published an expose on the channel just last month, which led to an internal investigation into the matter. So let's get to the details. So sources told Haaretz that members of a department of the Israel Defense Forces Operations Directorate, which is in charge of psychological warfare targeting the enemy and foreign audiences, created 72 Virgins Uncensored on October 9th, just 2 days after Hamas carried out its atrocities and terrorist attack in Israel, without official approval and without being authorized to do so. And what this Telegram channel was meant to do was essentially reach out to the Israeli citizens and basically get them pumped up and supportive of this ongoing war. Now, after processing its findings, IDF officials contacted Haaretz to present their conclusions, and in a written response, they say, the IDF spokesperson's unit said that after a thorough investigation, it was found that the Telegram channel was operated by the IDF without authorization and without authority. The incident has been dealt with. And in the wake of these findings, the unit's wartime commander has ended his military service. So I guess those were the actions that were taken. Now, I think it's important to get into what kind of content this Telegram channel contained. Because the IDF seem to really enjoy telling on themselves. The channel boasts of exclusive content from the Gaza Strip and has published hundreds of posts, images, and videos of so-called terrorists. By the way, there's no evidence that the individuals in those videos are in fact terrorists, but they describe them as terrorists being killed and of destruction of the Gaza Strip. The channel encourages its 5,300 followers to share the content so that everyone can see that we're screwing them. An October 11th post read, burning their mother. You won't believe the video we got. You can hear their bones crunch. We'll post it right away, get ready. By the way, I could not share the imagery or the videos. They were too gruesome, disgusting, and would probably immediately get us suspended from YouTube because of how brutal they are. But let me continue with the rest of that graphic. Photos of Palestinian men captured by the IDF in the Strip and the bodies of terrorists were captured or captioned. Exterminating the roaches, exterminating the Hamas rats, share this beauty. And let me give you one more example. Another post includes a video of an Israeli soldier allegedly dipping machine gun bullets in pork fat. What a man lubricates bullets with lard. You won't get your virgins. And garbage juice, another dead terrorist. You have to watch it with the sound. You'll die laughing. So Cenk, I can't help but think about some of the torture that was implemented by our soldiers in the Abu Ghraib scandal. We were deeply, deeply disturbed by that and critical about that. And I just want to note that for the record, because right now, anyone who is critical of how the Israeli government and the IDF is carrying out this war is labeled an anti-Semite. But I do find it interesting that Americans can be critical of their own government and the US military and how it carries out its wars against foreign countries. But apparently, Israel should not be criticized at all, even if some of the war crimes they're committing it happened to be even more brazen and worse than what we experienced with our own soldiers in Abu Ghraib.
Yeah, so time for uncomfortable truths. Language like exterminating rats and roaches is straight out of Nazi propaganda. That's literally what they said about the Jews. If that makes you uncomfortable, don't take it up with me. Take it up with the IDF that put Nazi propaganda inside Israel about Palestinians. That is, it's 101. That's dehumanize them. They literally use the words exterminate rats and roaches, exactly what the Nazis used. So now that doesn't mean everything else they're doing is exactly what the Nazis did, but that propaganda is, okay? So now remember, this is going internally to Israel. So why are they doing this? So, and that's why the guy got fired, by the way, because some portions of the Israeli government don't agree with doing internal propaganda to their own citizens. But they've done so much propaganda to America, to the whole rest of the world, that like they think, oh, IDF, they'll stop if it's Israeli citizens. No, they won't. This is the second time they've been caught doing propaganda towards Israeli citizens. So, but why are they doing it? Because the US media, more so than Israeli media, look at Haaretz reporting this. There's portions of Israeli media that is actually very good, right? But American media's job mainly is to run cover for Israeli Defense Forces and tell you how wonderful they are and how they drop leaflets and they're humanitarians and they try so hard not to kill civilians, but golly gee, they happen to kill 25 times the amount that Hamas did, and the ratio of killing civilians is way worse than Hamas's. But they didn't mean any of that. They're just the most humanitarian people in the world. But they have a problem. They don't want the Palestinians to think that, the IDF, and they don't want Israelis thinking that. So they put these pictures out and these videos out for two reasons. To tell the Palestinians, remember, we're gonna demean and humiliate and torture and mutilate you to the end of time. So be our servants. Understand that we are God's chosen people, and we will have Judea and Samaria. We will take your land, we will humiliate you, and you will bow your head and know that you are ruled. That's why you put out propaganda like this, so that you could, rub their face in it and think that you're in charge. And then to the Israelis, they're trying to goad right-wing Israelis to be even more violent, including inside Israel. That they had soccer fans of a far right-wing soccer fans go into a hospital and start spitting on the doctors for treating Arabs. And so that's where that "screw the Arabs" statement came from that Anna read you, where they're saying, "Attaboy, way to attack Arabs inside Israel." Okay, so the whole idea of Israel being a democracy, etc. Here's the IDF saying, go attack Arabs inside Israel. We hate all Arabs. We don't want them to be equal. And that's who the IDF actually is. Now they got their hand caught in the propaganda jar. So they, some of them are actually upset and others are perfectly fine with it. And they'll do it a third time again. So yeah, okay. Israel's totally out of control. It's right-wing government is totally depraved, immoral, and ruining Israel as a safe haven for Jews that desperately needed it.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.